Here's your wrestling news for February 7th, 2023, and we're kicking off today with Monday Night Raw, and for someone who's never been known as a talker, Brock Lesnar cut a terrific promo on last night's episode. During his monologue, Lesnar made a reference to Sable, his wife, and the former WWE superstar who hardly left the company on the best of terms years ago. The line made the WWE Twitterverse go wild, but getting down to business, Brock made it clear that he wants Bobby Lashley at the Elimination Chamber event. In response, Lashley said he'd have to run it by many people, including his agent, his manager, and his lawyer, and ate an F5 for his troubles. Backstage, Adam Pearce could be seen speaking with MVP, Cedric Alexander, and Shelton Benjamin, and MVP even accompanied the pair of former Raw Tag Team Champions for their match, in which they defeated the Alpha Academy. It's clear that WWE is hinting at the reunion of the Hurt Business, something the fans and the members have been rallying for ever since the group was split, and don't be surprised to see Benjamin, Alexander, and MVP get involved if we do get Lashley vs. Lesnar in Montreal. What did you make of Lesnar's work this week, and are you excited for a match and possible Hurt Business reunion? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Raw also saw the build continue for the Women's Elimination Chamber match, in which 6 women will risk it all for a shot at the Raw Women's Championship at WrestleMania. This will mark the 5th Women's Chamber match in history, but bar some exceptions, the lineup for this year's match is incredibly weak. Not to take away from the skills of all 6 women in the match, but does anybody genuinely believe that Natalya or Carmella have a hope of dethroning the dominant Bianca Belair at WrestleMania 39? The issue here is that fans will be incredibly disappointed if anyone other than Liv Morgan or Asuka win, and right now, the Empress of Tomorrow appears to be the favorite. On Raw, it was certainly teased that Asuka will be the one to win the Chamber match, and her recent character change certainly makes her an ideal candidate to challenge the EST in April. It was at WrestleMania 38 last April that Belair's dominant reign began, but will it end at the hands of Asuka, or will somebody else be facing the EST at this year's WrestleMania? Now, Cody Rhodes is going to the main event of WrestleMania 39 to face Roman Reigns, but that's not the match many fans had been hoping to see. Originally, the hope of fans and the plans for WWE was for The Rock to face his cousin in a monumental clash this April, but that obviously isn't the plan anymore. The Rock informed WWE last month that he felt he did not have enough time to get into sufficient ring shape, but going ahead without the Brahma Bull is not a problem, at least to Cody Rhodes. Speaking to the Daily Mail, Cody was asked about the Bloodline storyline with Sami Zayn, which could influence his own angle, and said that he loves that storylines are running parallel. When asked about The Rock, Rhodes praised the former world champion, but has faith on the full-time roster to deliver even without the Brahma Bull. With all the respect in the world to one of the GOATs, The Rock, it looks like the options we have here within the roster are even better because of the stories that are happening. One story about finishing something that started in 1978, 7 years before I was even born, and another story of really the tragedy of being welcomed into the bloodline and then what you saw unfold. I think with the amount of time between now and WrestleMania, it's important I keep my eyes squarely fixed on WrestleMania, squarely wrestling for the WWE Undisputed Championship, and as you hinted, that may not be against Roman Reigns. Now, I don't know if anyone can beat Roman Reigns, I truly don't, but for me, it's about picking up the chip. I love the melodrama, I love the heaviness in these stories that develop in our industry, but I am very simply a man who is looking for a belt. I'm looking for a championship title belt, the most important one in our world, the biggest of all, not just in the WWE bubble, but in all the bubbles. And be the first to say as a Rhodes, I did it, and it wasn't Dusty Rhodes, and it wasn't Dustin Rhodes, it was Cody Rhodes. While The Rock won't be competing this year, the Great One has left the door open for the Reigns match at some point in the future, but right now, Cody Rhodes is focused on being the one to finally bring down the head of the table. At this very moment, Vincent Kennedy McMahon is on the hunt for someone to purchase WWE, a sale that seemed like a fantasy just a few years ago. One of the most interesting names on the list of interested potential buyers is Tony Khan, who with AEW and Ring of Honor is no stranger to owning a promotion. Sitting down with Mark Hoke this week, Khan was asked if the rumors of him and his father being interested are true, and wasn't ashamed to say that they are. I don't know exactly what'll happen there. I've been told, and I think they said publicly, that there may be a sale process. If there is a sale process, certainly I'm interested in it and potentially being involved in it. We'll have to see what that process is and who exactly they'll let get involved in it. Certainly, I'm interested in it very much. WWE's mantra is that Vince will do what is best for the company, though many doubt that McMahon's ego would allow him to sign over his family's promotion to the Khans. With Comcast, considered the favorite by many, now out of the race, the field is wide open. And who do you think will be the ones handed the keys to Titan Towers? During last week's Raw, the Maximum Male Models made a rare appearance on the red brand despite being SmackDown superstars. In their segment, the trio, led by Maxine Dupree, tried to recruit Otis into their group, and fans can expect more of the models each Monday night. Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select reports that internally, the Maximum Male Models have been moved from SmackDown to Raw, though no explanation has been given as to why. While the group have received limited in-ring time, Massey, Mansois, and Maxine have proven to be a hit with fans on YouTube in their various videos and skits. On last night's Raw, the Maximum Male Models were involved in a segment with Adam Pearce, which was interrupted by Chelsea Green, and we'll have to see what's next for the models after their move to Monday nights. We mentioned the Maximum Male Models are now part of the Raw roster, but they're not the only team to have found a new home. PW Insider also reported that Los Lotharios, the team consisting of Humberto and Angel, are now also part of Raw after being drafted to SmackDown back in October 2021. Like the models, no explanation has been given behind this move, and the duo haven't been involved in many, if any, storylines as of late. The last time fans saw Los Lotharios, they were losing to Hit Row as part of the SmackDown Tag Team Titles #1 Contender Tournament, and perhaps they'll have better luck now that they're on Raw. Now it's been over 8 months since fans last saw Naomi on WWE programming as she walked out with Sasha Banks during the May 16, 2022 edition of Raw. Since then, Banks has become Mercedes Moné in New Japan Pro Wrestling and has left WWE behind. And now, Naomi's days with the promotion may have come to an end. On Instagram, Naomi changed her bio, and while it included the usual links that you'd expect of a celebrity, it also now reads Just Trinity. For those not in the know, this is a nod to Naomi's real name, Trinity Fatu, and has removed all mentions of WWE in the bio, with the exception of her Twitter handle @NaomiWWE. While Mercedes has obviously left WWE, Naomi's situation with the company is much more unclear. But if this change is anything to go by, her time with WWE is coming to an end, if it's not already ended. Since 2019, AEW has produced thousands of hours of filmed content, but the company has yet to host any untelevised events. That will change next month when AEW kick off their AEW House Rules shows, with the first being at March 18th in Troy, Ohio. In a report from Fightful Select, it said that AEW's roster knew that something like this would be coming, and the belief is that these events will greatly benefit younger and more inexperienced talent. Not only that, but house shows will also allow talent to flex their creative muscles in a similar way to how WWE superstars are able to have more fun and test ideas off camera at their live events. The consensus is that being able to work long matches on the road against more experienced wrestlers will be invaluable for the younger stars. And will you be going to an AEW House Rules event when they arrive in your town? Let us know in the comments. Back to Raw now, as the show was headlined by a steel cage match between Bayley and Becky Lynch, the same steel cage match that was supposed to happen on the Raw 30th anniversary show. That match got cut down to mere minutes due to other segments going long, but not only did this week's match get much more time, but it also saw a huge return. In the closing moments of the match, WWE Hall of Famer Lita made her shocking return to TV and has set her sights on Damage Control. The multi-time WWE Women's Champion attacked Dakota Kai and Io Sky, both of whom were outside of the cage, and slammed the door in the face of Bayley, giving Lynch the opportunity to hit the manhandle slam for the win. So with Lita's return, what's next for the Hall of Famer? Well, as you'd expect, a feud with Damage Control is in the works. According to Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful, the plan is for Lita to make her in-ring return at the Elimination Chamber Premium Live event as part of a 6-woman tag. While this match has not been confirmed, it is believed that Lita will be teaming with Lynch and her longtime friend and former rival Trish Stratus, who will feel right at home competing in her native Canada. It was during an episode of the Broken Skull Sessions that Bayley called Lita her dream opponent of any era, and now the role model will get her wish and step into the ring with the Hall of Famer next Saturday in Montreal. Later this month, Ring of Honor will host their own set of tapings, nearly a year after being purchased by Tony Khan. Khan has big plans for Ring of Honor, but that has seemingly affected another company. Beyond Wrestling's Perfection or Vanity event was supposed to feature several AEW ROH talent for their show on February 26th, but in a tweet, it was confirmed that ROH Pure Champion Wheeler Yuta, Tracy Williams, and Trish Adora have all been pulled from the show. Though it was initially added that Willow Nightingale had been pulled, a subsequent tweet confirmed that she will still be competing at Perfection or Vanity, and it certainly appears that Khan's plans for ROH and their tapings have come at the expense of Beyond Wrestling. And we're ending today with Chris Jericho, who is known for reinventing himself, from being Y2J to his heel turn in 2008 to the list of Jericho in WWE. This week, Jericho debuted a brand new look, at least for one show, and he took inspiration from one of AEW's most popular stars. For his cruise, Jericho teamed with Danhausen and donned the attire and face paint of the very nice and very evil wrestler. This was, of course, just a one-off appearance by Jerichohausen, who was also gifted the original Intercontinental title he won in 1999 by belt collector Dan Lambert, so this will have been a cruise the wrestling veteran will certainly never forget.